And it looks like we are live, so I'm going to say hello everyone and welcome to a terrible stream for terrible people. How are we all doing this fine Monday? What have you been up to this weekend? Welcome Shunshin to Handsome, which is always a 100% accurate way to determine whether or not someone is attractive. You know, you can't tell by just looking at them. You have to go to their YouTube channel, see if they're... I don't know if you can actually go to someone's channel and find out if they're membership to anything. But assuming that you can, that's how you know they're handsome, which is also how we know that there's not that many handsome people in the world. Very, very ugly planet.
I thought it was like a qualification.
It is a qualification that you pay for.
Right.
And that you don't have to do anything but that. And it's not expensive. People just want to be just unattractive. I don't know why.
Is this like a qualification from like one of those Christian fundamentalist schools?
The CERSIC membership program is a diploma mill. I can't put it any other way. That's how it works. You're not going to get a job with this, but what you might get, assuming that someone needs a qualification in handsome, what you might get is the ability to trick rubes into believing that you are qualified to fucking say anything. So, you know, good news. Sunshine, nickname from a fire department. Proper spelling taken, so I substituted the Y to be cheeky. Ah, so it's a Sunshin. Okay, fair enough.
Mrs. Sick, I hope the thing from last time came out alright. What, the camera?
It certainly came out all right. It was the going in that was the difficult part.
I have to have a throat one soon.
Yeah, that was the day after last week, wasn't it? Yeah. So she's been for the camera crew up the backside. They discovered that she does in fact have an anus. So phew, we were worried about that. But now we have to wait for them to send a different camera crew down the front in the face. It's not great. She's really not looking forward to that one. And it's quite annoying because
I'm going to sleep for that one.
Part of this whole deal has been trying to get some confirmation of whether or not she has a gluten sensitivity. She's one of the people who actually needs gluten-free shit because it just makes her feel absolutely terrible.
Definitely not celiac.
Does not do good things to her insides. And, yeah, generally feels better without it. And we've had to spend the last 3 weeks eating more than even I would like. There's only so much pizza you can eat before you start feeling really shit about it. Yeah. So for like the first day, you're like, oh yeah, we could actually order takeaway and have all the nice things. Because like, oh my God, so much of takeaway is based on gluten apparently. But yeah.
I'm eating Nutella out of the jar. Just like a Viking should.
I mean, Vikings famously favoured Nutella over other chocolate nut brands. I hope you guys say bye at the end. I mean, I do tend to do that. You'll have to stick around to find out if we do, though. Maybe I'll forget, like an asshole. Gluten damage, +1, +1, +1. That's basically
like it.
Yeah. If you don't want a sarcastic answer, then don't ask a stupid question. Is that why you get a lot of sarcastic answers, Benji? Is there gluten in cats? Asking for a friend. Depends how many you eat. They used to dip ravens in Nutella, didn't they? Yes, that is a famous Viking recipe. Chocolate nut. Crah! Solution like me. Don't eat. Just drink whiskey. It is basically food. I mean, it's famously ketchup. The whiskey.
Why are you having Nutella anyway? I thought it was no, not November.
Don't nut in your Nutella.
Oh God.
Different type of Nutella. It's the white one.
Ugh.
That has put off at least one person. They'll see it now and go, can't anymore. This fucking asshole on the internet just said no nut Nutella, and then Yeah. I mean, you want the one that doesn't have nut in it. That's like the ideal one. What's smelling depends on what you can smell, I suppose. Whatever you can smell, it's not that. Otherwise, you could smell it coming. The only reason that this fucking stream has that title is because we've started playing Persona. And eventually, a certain song gets completely fucking stuck in your head. And you'll never see it coming. Is that what the smell is? Nutella? I wouldn't mind. Like, if you've ever, like, cooked Nutella, it is one of the best smells on the planet. It smells really fucking... I used to make these things. We had a little toaster oven, and I used to get a piece of bread. I'd flatten it out, and I'd put a big glob of Nutella in it, and then fold it over like it's a Cornish pasty, and then cook that. Oh my god, that was so nice.
Instantly onto food.
Yep. Yeah, they've been talking about Nutella since we got here. I don't know
really
why.
Food, though, is it?
Is Nutella food? Yes, 100%. It's not a drink. It's not a gas. The Nutella gas. The terrible crimes. Bullet bourbon and rye are both quite good too. Do you mean bullet bourbon and rye are both quite good? Because there is a rye bullet bourbon, which is nice. But bullet bourbon on its own is also nice. Like doing my... Well, bullet bourbon's one of my favourite whiskies, so, you know, that's how that works. Is it a stray cat? Yeah, that is the difference. Stray cats have more gluten in them because it all comes from the collar. You can tell that they're stray from a collar with mittens on it with an address and a weird number that I don't understand. Don't eat the ones without that. Those belong to someone. God, I think. Hazelnut butter tastes like Nutella but has less unhealthy crap in it. Does it taste exactly like Nutella or does it taste like butter and nuts? Because I don't think that's the same thing. Unless your butter tastes like chocolate, when I think you've gotten very confused. So whiskey is a grain product. Probably. Do hazelnuts count as food? That's the question. That's the question that the scholars have been trying to answer for generations. And the answer may surprise you. It's, the metal tag makes them chewy. Well, that's why you spit it out and use it as a projectile to kill other stray cats. Have I taught you nothing? Probably. Not an educational channel. Nutella is not deadly if you eat it, but I've yet to the scientific evidence that it's food meant to be eaten on purpose.
Food in quotes as well, yeah.
Food in quotes, spelt with a U.
Food.
I like that. Good Omens has the product called Chow, which is non-food food. And I really like the idea. That's how terrible I am. It's like, I could have all this shit and I wouldn't actually be consuming anything, but it would taste like... Because I'm a sucker for a bit of shit food. I can't help myself. Terrible person. Is coom a food? Are you saying is cum a food? Depends if you put it on a sandwich. I guess the sandwich would be the food. It's a dressing. It's a sauce. It's like counting... I mean, I guess mayonnaise is food as well.
Condiment, come on.
Coom is a spread. Condiment,
yeah.
It's a condiment. Recycled food is good for the environment and okay for you. I mean, to be fair, isn't all food recycled ultimately? There's the whole thing about there isn't a drop of water that hasn't been inside someone else's body. Like, any water that you've drank was definitely went through, like, fucking Da Vinci's body.
Several other people, yeah.
Yeah. But, like, just from the sheer scale of atoms, like, any water has been in everyone. Not just 7 other people, but everyone. What the fucking advert came up for Viagra? Playing pink. I'm coming up. They know what's going on. They algorithmically sort out the fucking title. I'm really on my game today, obviously. What about water on ice comets? Depends who put the water there.
Them?
I mean, seriously, what about them? What the fuck are you talking about?
Are you asking if they're food?
The water from ice comets. Oh no, they're talking about has it been inside someone? Yes, me. Does adult breastfeeding count as a food fetish? Probably not. I think it just counts as just plain fetish. Unless you're doing it for sustenance. Unless it's bitty.
You're like really hungry.
Not bitty now, bitty later, darling. Fucking love that sketch. So funny. Anything that's gone through that man's kidney has to be pure. Pure whiskey. Better than coffee that's been through a cat first, or a monkey, or certain elephants, I think. I do not understand the appeal of shit coffee. Like literal shit coffee. I don't know, man. I get the exclusivity and difficulty to attain gives things, a veneer of being amazing. But if it's actually coming from shit, I just don't want it. So I just watched bits of Jordan Peterson trying to convince Richard Dawkins that dragons are a thing because predators exist.
What?
Thanks, Sick, for emergency alcohol. I'll have to check that out. Not gonna lie, I've been on a bit of a Jordan Peterson binge recently, including discovering that people are referring to these days as his Joker phase, which is really funny because he keeps wearing fucking really weird suits.
Well, they're like 1970s suits.
No, they're just very strange. You check them out. They're
oh God, here we go.
Some of them are wild. Whom cancels whom? Very funny. The poo coffee is much nicer than it has any right to be. You've tried the poo coffee. I mean, at the end of the day, it's probably still coffee. And I would bet. So you've got the poo coffee that costs $1 million billion. No one's making it into, like, instant, are they?
What the fuck?
They're going to be making it into that highest end of end. Those fancy coffee. If you go on fucking YouTube Shorts, you'll see loads. If you type coffee, you'll see loads of people just making fucking coffee things, and they've got all these fancy tools, and it looks like a very expensive hobby, I'm sure. Whether or not it has as much of a difference as they say, but it looks very fancy. And at the very least, if there's some improvement to the coffee, it's coming through that.
Oh my God.
And you have to wonder, like, if they just take a normal coffee that's like a decent quality coffee and shit coffee and do that same thing to it, how much difference there is.
I'm just looking at the suits he's wearing. And I'm like,
yes, they're wild.
It's basically something I would wear. I'm just like, oh my God, he's got hella style. Oh my God, it's me.
I don't think he has style. You have no fucking taste. This woman wears leopard print. Oh my God, I could see him in a leopard print suit. That'd be amazing.
I like certain colours.
Cheese is milk pre-digested by friendly bacteria and or fungus for your enjoyment. Yeah, but cheese is fucking delicious.
Not gonna lie though, he really does look like the Joker in some of these.
Yeah. Poo coffee is not possible to industrialize because the meerkats are not domesticable. I mean, are they even trying? Let's be fair. Don't mock the American coffee ceremony. It is sacred to us as a Japanese tea ceremony. Yeah, most Americans don't do what I've seen. Like, most Americans are getting up, fucking stumbling into their kitchen and getting the first coffee-shaped thing that they can get into their body. No one has fucking time for the shit these people do. And I'm not mocking it. Well, I am mocking it a bit. But I'm not, like, if they enjoy that, good for them. But it's a lot. What about wolf coffee? Is it made from wolves or does it come from wolves? Or is it a bit of both? Energy drinks are faster. Yeah, energy drinks are just one of the worst atrocities mankind has developed. It is amazing how none of them taste good. And the only way to think that they taste good is to drink enough of them where you're done.
You convince yourself it tastes good.
It's the quintessential acquired taste. Waiting for dark coffee in the morning. I mean, surely you could just go to... I was going to say pub then. I mean, you can go to a pub for coffee. But you're at the pub at that point. What's the point? Oh my god, Mrs. Sick, I'm Del Boy Pajamas. Please, please, please show and tell you Plonker. She's not in Del Boy pajamas.
I don't wear pajamas.
Yeah. We're both naked sleepers. The world is too hot and clingy for that.
I can't sleep with textures rubbing against me. Like, the bed sheets are bad enough.
Oh. My coffee maker just requires me to pour in beans and water and push a button. Yeah. That's as far as most people are willing to go. And most people are getting instant. Like, there's no two ways about it. We use sachets. They're double chocolate and they're fucking delicious. As someone who doesn't like coffee, those are pretty alright.
They're okay.
If I require to get coffee into me,
I would
they are
prefer
the
it
easiest
if it tastes
ways.
more like coffee, though.
I like it if they taste more like chocolate. Mrs. Sick has... She used to get these frappe things. I think our local pub used to do them, and they just stopped. Probably because she was the only person drinking them.
Probably.
But they were quite nice. But before I was capable of drinking coffee, they were like the closest thing I could have to a coffee that I could drink, and I could still really taste the coffee. And she was very confused by that. She said, "Oh, it just tastes of sweet."
Yeah, it's just very sweet.
Caramel frappe. Oh my god, they were good. I would have them now. I'd probably fucking love them. People need to start appreciating the effort I put into not being a serial killer. I mean, that's what people who say shit in religiosity world, where they go, "Oh, if there was no God, I'd be in jail." So that's not a good. That's not a good point. Truly high-end coffee culture is so pedantically insufferable. The tools and equipment is ridiculous. I mean, anything done to the highest end is usually kind of dumb. I've had people criticize me for having headphones that cost a couple of £100, but the thing is, that is actually at about the level where you can appreciate the difference between a piece of shit, fine headphones, and good headphones. And I use mine for work, so my good headphones actually are helpful. But if I wouldn't go any more expensive than that. Like these, I got these on a whim on a stream when I was drunk and chat was goading me. But they turned out to be the most comfortable headphones I've ever owned. They're the only ones that I can wear all day without being in absolute agony. So now I'm fucking stuck with them. And if they break, I am going to have to replace them with another kind of overpriced set of headphones. But you know, it is what it is.
Recommendation from me: The Book of Two Ways by Jodie Picoult.
Okay.
Well, The Book of Two Ways is just the coffin text, which I already have. But if she's like got her own version of that, that's Well, The Book of Two Ways is technically in the coffin text, which I already have. I have
How much did I spend on that?
Hmm?
The coffin text. I know that wasn't cheap.
Oh, that was actually mostly a gift card from my mum.
Oh, okay. So I didn't buy you that book. I have bought you quite a lot of books.
You bought me the other ones.
Yeah.
The Book of Gates and the Amduat, which were very expensive.
Yeah. Oh, I really don't like spending big money on books, but I like making her happy.
I like the
so
books.
It's like my favorite book I bought was the Disney one because that is a really cool book.
Oh, the illustrator book, yeah.
Yeah. There's this classic, this book that's like the illustrator's Bible. I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head, but it is not cheap. But it's like really cool to have. Who are worse, wine snobs or coffee snobs? Coffee snobs, because at least wine snobs are drunk.
I would be disappointed if Mrs. Sick doesn't drink Bovril in the morning.
Yeah, you're not a real northerner if you don't have a pint of the black stuff and not Guinness. I recently spent 150 US on a pair of headphones, normally 200. The difference from my old shite pair is monumentally better. Yeah, as long as they're like a decent pair, you shouldn't be disappointed. Like, I'd really, really like a pair of Sennheiser HD 600s, but they're so fucking expensive.
A true wine snob doesn't drink it.
A true wine snob drinks the whole bottle in one sitting.
I thought they
This is fucking amazing.
I thought they pretentiously smell it and swirl it around their mouth and spit it out.
Yeah, but the trick is, don't spit it out. No one's going to know. And also, when everyone leaves, take the bucket. The spit only adds to the flavour. I have expensive and mediocre headphones, but they all are what we have to use at work. Beats Studio Pro. Great noise cancellation, decent battery life, and shit sound. I mean, yeah, when you're paying for certain features, like the headphones that I use for work do nothing but sound, and they're wired. They're fucking... What are you called now? I can never remember.
Oh, it's a novel.
Oh, K712s. AKGs? K712s. They're really nice.
I will add it to my list. I have a very extensive book list though.
Yeah. But like we also use I think the K1s. They're cheap in earphones, but they're like better than most ones you'll get advertised to you. They're just something that I can't remember who makes them. Or I think that they're just a design that people do make. But yeah, those are surprisingly good. But those are like 20 quid. So you can have really good sound for not a lot of money. But you have to know where to look. If you want to learn anything about sound, watch Dank Pods. His videos on headphones are what got me and Mrs. Sick into headphones. We started on some of the cheaper stuff. And then eventually worked our way up to... We've got to a level that we like now. Mrs. Sick likes Sennheiser's like HD 500XX style, which are various ranges of prices, but they're the ones that fit her.
I like things with bass.
Yeah, but they fit you well.
Yeah.
Although
I have a very small head.
Although recently, since we got the K9s or the K1s or whatever the fuck they're called, she's mostly been using those. The major problem with them is they have a slight hiss. But other than that, are you guys big tea folks? I'm not. She's like fine. You're not like desperately into tea, are you?
What the hell is tea?
Tea, as in tea,
as
in a cup of tea.
Oh, as in the letter T or. Right.
As in a cup of tea.
Okay. No.
No, she'd more enjoy a coffee, mostly because there's a stronger flavour.
I have a coffee occasionally.
Yeah, and even then. Was Sick saying he's sick? Because get well soon. I did not say that. I was sick a while ago. I get sick often. I have children who go to school. And my God, do they bring back some marvellous diseases. Oh, I've never been so ill in my life. I used to never get sick. I used to always be fine. Even working in bars and stuff with fucking sweaty, gross, fucking drunk people. I didn't get ill. Had kids. Constant. 3 or 4 times a year, easily. Drives me fucking crazy. Studio quality headphones work. Cheap Amazon headphones. Watching porn when roommates are home. I mean, anything that goes in your ear. I'd love to suggest to our neighbour to get some fucking headphones because they keep playing their music loud. But that problem may solve itself soon, so fingers crossed.
I'm kind of unsure about this novel. It sounds like a romance novel, and it's not what I'm into.
No.
Romance novels are so fucking boring to me.
Mostly, if it's going to be fiction, it usually has to be something that makes her very depressed.
I like to have like philosophical novels are fine.
Yeah.
It's just romance ones. It's just like, I love him, but I can't be with him anymore, and it's so sad. And I'm gonna go bang other people. And I don't fucking
Elon
care.
Musk knew Jesus. Are you trying to tell me that Elon Musk isn't real? interesting take. I just got some new bergamot black tea.
Oh, bergamot is so nice.
I've never had that.
It's in Earl Grey tea.
Oh, right. I mean, I just don't like tea. Tea tastes entirely to me like hot water. Of all the things that I can't taste,
Dirty
it's tea.
leaf water.
Like, I mostly I have a very sensitive palate. Tea just tastes gross. It's really it doesn't taste of anything, and also just tastes of hot water, which is a really nasty flavour to me.
No, don't say nut juice. There's no Nut November. We're not allowed.
No nut juice November. You're not allowed
No
any.
mention of nuts. No.
Read Time Traveler's Wife. I was tricked into reading a TT romance novel. The time traveling mechanics is sick though. Fair enough. Like, when you have a book that's one thing, but
Most of the books I like are reference books, though.
actually, like, if it, like, thinking of things that you think you're not gonna like because of the premise. Everybody who likes Souls games really needs to play Lies of P. I know it is fucking Pinocchio, but it's so good. Like, it's really fucking good.
Alright, we get it. You like it.
I really like it. I am actually kind of hyped for the DLC, which is going to be fucking Alice in Wonderland themed. Alice doing. Oh no, it's not Alice in Wonderland.
Wonderhand?
What's the one with the red ruby shoes?
Oh, you mean
Wizard of Oz.
Never mind.
Yeah, Wizard of Oz themed, which sounds like, oh, that's going to be fucking dumb. But the main game was fucking sick, bruv. So, yeah, if you haven't played it, Lies of P is great. Wizard of Oz DLC? Yeah, basically.
To be honest,
Based on The Wiz, the one with Michael Jackson. That would be very interesting.
An Alice in Wonderland one would be really cool. I don't think you can get the IP for it, though.
Well, for Alice in Wonderland. For the book you can. You just can't have it look like
Disney, yeah.
Yeah, the Disney version is their intellectual property.
Yeah.
But the story is, as far as I'm aware, way beyond it. It's really funny, like, talking of intellectual property. Disney built itself on the fact that there was open source, royalty-free content that went into the public domain. Like, most of the stuff they did, especially early days, was just that. And even when it wasn't, it was fucking based on Shakespeare, for fuck's sake. So them then desperately hoarding their own stuff is just so ironic. The Wizard of Oz freaked me out as a kid. That does not surprise. That is a freaky movie. I mean, it went into color at one point. That's crazy. Oh my god, The Wiz was like a fever dream. The Wiz is a very strange movie.
I don't think I've ever watched it.
I've seen bits of it. And the bits I've seen were just like, okay, that's a thing that exists. Alice in Wonderland as a story is free to use. There's already a horror game and a sequel based on it from years ago. Are you talking about American McGee's Alice? Which nobody knew who the fuck American McGee was before he released that. Which is just, that's a strong foot forward, that is. Have you ever smelled your own feet and the vinegary smell put you in the mood of a chippy? My feet do not smell of vinegar.
Vinegar?
You have a strange body.
Wow.
My feet only ever smell of cheese.
Very acidic.
Yeah. Now, my armpits, I think, smell like beef and onion pie, which is the strangest fucking thing.
You do smell quite beefy.
Yeah. I have quite a meaty smell.
Considering that you eat chicken more than anything else.
Yeah, I hardly ever eat beef. But I smell beefy. Who the fuck knows? Got a tattoo redone on Saturday. Was originally done in 2010, but got so badly infected I was apparently a month away from losing the arm. The tat was done over scar tissue and really bloody hurt. I am not fucking surprised. Yes, Lion King is just Hamlet with lions. It's not the Afrocentric tale everybody else. I mean, its setting is Africa, though. I mean, you can't, and its themes are also. Yeah, it's Hamlet based on the story, but it's other things as well. It can be two things at once. It's amazing. It's quite clever. My feet smell like brie. Oddly puts me off eating cheese, though. It depends if you like brie, I suppose. And also, apparently, if you want to eat brie well, what you should do is you take it out of the fridge and you leave it for like 8 hours. And then when it starts moving on its own, that's when you eat it. You have to kill it first, obviously, but yeah.
I don't know. My feet don't really smell. But then again, like...
That's what you think.
I don't know. I don't really go around smelling my feet as well. I'm not into feet.
No.
So...
Feet are weird. Like the foot fetish on the internet. I'm just so confused by it.
I don't really get it. It's just like, if you like feet, you must like hands, because they're basically the same thing.
Ooh. Quite a dark story behind Alice in Wonderland. He wrote it for a random young girl he had befriended and liked taking pictures of. Oof. Why is it when we smell a foul odor, we insist our best mate or spouse also smell it? Oh, have you smelt this? It's disgusting. Can I not? No. You gotta check this out, man. Fucking stinks.
I have quite a sensitive smell, though. Sense of smell.
The 3 rules: don't poke, please don't poke. I mean, okay.
Like, one of the worst places to go is like a perfume section.
My brie smells like cheese. Completely puts me off eating
like
feet.
I know that doesn't bother you though, does it?
What's that?
Like, you know when you go through a department store and there's like a section that has perfume everywhere.
I'm not a big fan of it.
I find it so overwhelming. It gives me a headache.
It mostly just smells pretty gross.
It's so many different smells at once. It's horrible.
And then they attack you with it.
Oh god! And then the thing is it's some of them as well, because they affect my asthma. So that just adds on top of it as well. I can't breathe and I can't think anymore.
Does coming have a smell? Only if you smell it coming.
Depends what you eat.
My girlfriend has no sense of smell or taste.
Oh,
so your girlfriend has no sense of taste. Oof.
Oh right, that type of taste. Okay.
We've got a buddy who obsessively. I've got a buddy who obsessively sniffs things in thrift stores.
No smell November.
Oh my god. You're not allowed to smell anything. Perfume clogs the nose, I see. I stay away from shops with a lot of perfumes. There's I don't know if it's in America, but there's a perfumey. It's mostly a soap store, but you can smell them across a mall, like easily. If you walk in from the opposite end, you'll be like, there's a Lush in this building. They always fucking
Lush,
stink.
yeah. They really stink, those places.
You can smell them from literal miles away. It's ridiculous. Yeah. I'm assuming that it's intentional and that they probably pump smell out.
Yeah, they're very overpowering, those places.
I would bet money that the first one probably smelled quite strong and people could smell it from a bit away.
Bloodbath and beyond.
Bloodbath and beyond. That's pretty good. I like the smell of museums. Is that weird? I guess it depends on the museum.
I don't know.
If it's the museum of shit, then very weird.
Museums tend to have like a musky smell, but it's also reasonably. It smells kind of like paper, which is probably why I like it, because I like the smells of books and stuff.
The old autistic sensory overload. That is exactly the thing. I don't smell, but the creatures on my mind do. Okay. What do they smell of? There need to be smell-based museums. And this is the smell of my asshole.
They do have things like that for kids, like, smell this random hole. And it's just, doesn't it smell spicy?
I just like the idea of the smell hole.
And then you look at the flap on it and it says, this is the smell of, I don't know, pot puree or something.
You can get a bad lung from old book dust. I mean, I suppose, but just the one. Everyone had leave the store when a rat died behind a fridge, except her. She crawled in and cleaned it up. Oh, as in, right, yeah. Fair enough. I mean, it's kind of a superpower. Not to be affected by absolute stink. Smelling holes, yes. Welcome to the smelling hole. My hole smells funny.
They have like different spices in them, and it's for kids to like experiment with the sense of smell.
Does my hole smell weird?
But they're usually really gross and old.
Yeah. I like to smell my own farts to see if it tastes better than before. One of my favourite lines ever is farts are quite like farts are like children. People quite like their own.
I hate my own.
Wasn't there smell-o-vision in Futurama? No, there was smidgen.
That can't be true, because I absolutely despise the smell of my farts.
In Futurama, Bender has smidgen, which is one of his many senses that he would give up just to know what it's like to be a human. A smell that seems to no longer be around is older relatives' bathrooms. Old people's bathrooms today don't seem to have the same weird soap smell. But they still smell of piss and biscuits, so, you know, it's swings around.
Smells Egyptian mummies in the sand. Egyptian mummies would probably smell like pine tar.
Yeah.
Because that's...
they probably wouldn't smell bad.
It's a common thing that they used to use for mummies, is for, like... what do they call it? It's bitumen or something like that?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Bitchy men. They're coming and going, aren't you looking thin? Keep talking whilst I dump. Smell at your own risk. I mean, I'm sorry, but the internet doesn't transmit smells yet. So
that's what I do to get my dad to leave when he's on the phone for too long. Make sure that I'm very loudly using the toilet. He goes, "Oh, I'm gonna go."
What does anosmia smell of? It smells bad. Fun fact, farmers over here used to spray manure over their crops. Always smelt when they did that. Oh, that's got to be a fun smell.
Do the kids have strong senses?
On and off.
They're sensitive to sound.
Yeah.
One of them is sensitive to touch. She doesn't like her hair being touched. But the other one doesn't care.
Oh, of course it had the smelloscope. I'd forgotten about that.
And they both have a thing about things smelling nice. Like ever from a very young age, they would just stand and just smell washing powder, like on the clothes.
Yeah, they love the smell of clean clothes.
Yeah.
Like, very much love the smell of clean clothes. They had a bad habit for a while of stealing the fucking Febreze and then going into their room and spraying it like fucking crazy.
Yeah.
I started smelling. I was like, why can I smell? Like, you shouldn't smell Febreze.
Like, like constantly as well.
You smell Febreze for like a little bit, and then it takes away the smells. I could just smell Febreze like throughout the house, and I couldn't figure out why. I thought someone had broken a can of it, and then I figured out that the kids were spraying it like crazy. Now I don't know if that's audible. Hopefully for you it isn't. But our neighbour is playing loud music again because they're a giant fucking cunt. Very, very infuriating. They've become more
obnoxious.
Yeah, and more frequent recently. I think during we've just come out of a school holiday, and I think during that time period, they must have had their kids home, and they weren't massive dicks while their kids were home. But now the kids are off to keep playing music really fucking loud again. Yeah, kind of making me quite annoyed. And I am not a hugely confrontational person, so we've just written letters. But not to them. They can go fuck themselves. Like, there's no reason for it. I've never understood why people have to be loud. Like, that loud. And the thing is, we know, like, we'll go into our living room, and I've tested this. I turned up the volume of our TV, which has a pretty nice soundbar, to an uncomfortable level. It was like the highest that I would find tolerable. And then I went outside and I couldn't hear a fucking thing. But when the neighbours are being really, really loud, you can hear it both through the walls, which are thick concrete walls,
and outside. Yeah.
And if you walk outside, you can hear it through their front door, like clear as day. So when I put on what I thought was loud, I couldn't hear it. That means I can't fucking imagine how loud it is in there.
I don't get does you I like headphones.
Yeah.
So I find it weird that they don't want to use headphones.
Yeah, because you can have it really loud with higher quality.
You can have it as loud as you want, and you can get wireless ones, so you can prance around your house like an idiot if you want. But no, it's the idea of blasting bass through somebody
yeah, they get deaf and then they turn it up loud. I guess. But what a fucking stupid thing to do to yourself. There's a woman that was addicted to spraying/drinking those sprays. You have to take away bad odor. I don't get how she survived. Jesus Christ. I mean, if it's not poisonous, it's not poisonous, I guess. If you get old, it's the nurses that have hearing aids. Okay. I'm surrounded by rich a-hole neighbours, and you would think they came from a trailer park. Maybe they did. You never know. You don't know where they got their money. Might be drug money. Bass, low frequency, travels far and wide. Allegedly, elephants tap out Morse code or something to communicate across distances. Well,
You're saying the neighbours are trying to communicate through bass.
I think the neighbour... To be fair, we can hear the things that aren't bass perfectly clearly.
We can
sometimes.
Hear them singing as well. Well, singing in quotes.
Yeah, it's beyond just bass. Sometimes we can perfectly clearly hear the music, and that is beyond too fucking loud. Heck yeah, Jaws is one of the prototypical.
No, they are not elderly.
Movies.
They look about our age.
You're either frolicking with me or against me in headphones. Yeah, I mean, the temptation to passively aggressively just buy them a pair of fucking headphones. There you go. Shut the fuck up. Oh, tinny speakers are the worst. It's not that they have tinny speakers. They're bassy and they're normal. They're just really fucking loud. That's what you've got to understand. Imagine you were stood in front of a reasonable sound system. That's what it sounds like when they turn their music up. Just ever so slightly through a wall. And these are not thin walls.
No, it's not good music.
We do not have paper thin walls. We have like inches of concrete between us, and yet but no, certainly not good music. Like occasionally there's a song that's like whatever, but I don't care. Like they could be there all day playing like music I really liked, but if I'm not putting it on, I'm pissed off. It wasn't my choice. I didn't choose to play music really loud. I don't choose to play music really loud because I'm not a fucking arsehole. They may be deaf and really like the pretty lights on their stereo equipment. Yeah, at the end of the day, there's no fucking excuse for it. You know, your inability to hear things unless it's really loud is not everyone else's problem. And you've got to consider that we're in flats that stack 3. So there's 9 basically around them.
There's no real rules about noise pollution. It's more just like if it's causing you issues and disturbing you from your daily activities, then you can phone in a complaint. Yeah. But it's just one of those things where we kind of have to like wait for someone else to solve the problem.
We've contacted the appropriate authorities. We'll see what happens. Basically, this has happened before multiple times. Yeah, people play music really loud. We send in complaints. We assume other neighbours send in complaints. They don't improve their behaviour, and then they get kicked out. And I bet they're so fucking surprised. Although one of them, we are 100% sure, their family came to help them move out and kept taking the piss out of them. Like the entire time. It's like, well, you shouldn't have acted like that. He's like, oh, I can't believe I'm getting kicked
I
out.
think it was his mum.
Yeah, it's like, well, you're a wanker.
He was complaining, and she's like, well, if you weren't such a twat.
Yeah, just absolutely amazing. Yeah, we've lived here for a while now, where we live, and we've gone through a lot of
neighbours, and a lot of them have been noisy bastards.
Yeah, we had when we first moved in, we had a nice like old guy across from us who was very friendly. Kept trying to give us stuff, which was like when you're trying to be nice to people, it's like, yeah, but I don't want your old stuff, thanks. But it was whatever. And then he moved out and got replaced by someone. I thought, oh god, here we go. But they've actually been perfect, and they don't steal our mail when it gets given to them by random people, and we try not to take theirs because I hate taking other people's mail. Like, just re-deliver. I'm sure it'll be fine. Maybe that makes me an asshole, but I just don't like talking to people. I don't like having people's stuff. I don't like having reasons for people to come to see me. Anxiety is a bitch. I don't know what to tell you. But when someone like forces my hand, I just keep it in the house and then give it to them. I usually knock like 70 times to give it. Like, I've got your stuff, please take it, don't come talk to me. My hearing could be better. I worked backstage at concerts for 8 years and rung church bells manually for 10 years. Were you trying to destroy your ears? You're like, do you know what I fucking hate? My ears. Hearing, it's just so fucking overrated. Don't take gifts from old people, it's a trick. I'm sure it was just old stuff that they wanted rid of.
I think, he was moving and he wanted to get rid of things.
I've been here. Never wearing that again. The smell is permanent. Oh, for God's sake.
Quasimodo intensified.
Problem with concrete is that it's pretty silent until it isn't. Then it just travels all sound everywhere. Yeah, but at the end of the day, if you're playing things that loud, I don't think it matters how much distance there is.
I think people should just use headphones.
Yeah, that's what we do. Us and the kids, we all use headphones. The kids like theirs because it provides a bit of sound cancelling. So when random loud noises happen, it's less bothersome to them. I need mine for work. I'm basically, for the most part, the only person who actually watches our TV. I watch our TV the most, and then Mrs. Sick watches it with me. And then very occasionally the girls will watch TV with us. Like once a week, we've made a habit of watching Avatar, The Last Airbender, because one of the things we're trying to teach them is the patience to watch something that isn't a YouTube video, which has taken a little bit of time to develop. And we've also made a habit of watching the Spider-Verse movies now. We've watched the first two, so they have to watch the next one. AirPods, baby. AirPods are fucking great.
Yes.
AirPods are actually, they seem expensive, which they are, but because the sound cancelling is that good for that smaller form factor and that comfortable, it's made a fan of at least one Apple product of me. And I'm not a huge fan of Apple, and I hate the fact that they're basically impossible to repair. But there is this whole service that will, for a nominal fee, you basically just swap out the headphones. And they put new charged ones in, so you know it's not an impossible situation.
No, no, they didn't watch Cocomelon. They watched Studio Ghibli.
Yeah, that's the main films they'll watch is Studio Ghibli films, and occasionally, the Spider-Verse ones. Like we took them to a cinema for the first time, was to watch the original Spider-Verse, which, like those films, very very stimulating, very very entertaining, pretty decently written, and they look amazing. AirPods butt plug subwoofer really shakes the old anus. There's non-stop motion in Alice in Wonderland out there. I'm not sure what you mean about that. American Pie. What do you mean? The song?
I think you read that really badly, dude.
I read what?
There's stop motion Alice in Wonderland out there.
There's stop. Stop motion.
You said non-stop.
Oh. Okay. I do put in words.
Yeah, your brain.
When I read other people's writing, my brain just adds and subtracts. It's kind of irritating. It makes reading quite hard work sometimes. I should probably try that magic font. The
dyslexic font. I really like it. It makes your reading so much easier.
The best thing about kids starting to watch movies is how you get to watch the bloody Lego movie 6,000 times. To be fair, our kids are not huge film buffs or into any particular films. They've always liked shorter things. So, like I said, we've been trying to develop their... unless it's something that they're just deeply fascinated in, and then they'll just be hyper-focused for hours and hours and hours. They also watch fucking that one with the cake. Is it cake? Which is just the stupidest fucking thing.
Yeah, they seem to like that one.
And yet, every time it's on, I'm just like, yeah, but is it cake?
I don't know. I find it really boring.
I like the one where the cakes seem to be human beings and they're screaming, "Don't stab me, don't stab me." I'll stab this cake. Turns out they're always humans. Good luck finding anything that's not an Apple product in the electronics section at Target. I have never been to a Target, so I wouldn't fucking know. I do most of my shopping on the internet. My kid's a buff. He digs buff. Is he like muscular? There's that one kid who was like ridiculously ripped. If you own 140 Lego bricks, you are an average human. That's fucking hilarious. I would buy 140 just to have that. Because it's like the number of people with 140 Lego bricks is obviously going to be actually vastly underrepresented. I can't remember the names of the terms. I know they're maths terms, but they escape me right this second. Mean and median and all that shit. But I don't know which one's which because I'm a fucking idiot. Robocop versus Ed209.
Mean is average. And median is the middle of the value of the amount that's there. I only know this because I had to do homework with the kids and look it up myself.
All my Legos are gone. When I was a kid, we used to have the bucket. It was a big blue bucket. Absolutely fucking packed with Lego. There's probably at least 14,000 Lego at my house. Lego is the plural of Lego. There is no S. Do not use the S. You will be punished severely. They are not called Legos. They are called Lego. The average number of skeletons in a person is more than 1. And the average number of legs on a person is less than 2.
I like to pronounce it as Legos.
Legos. We are going to Legos. Legos land.
It sounds like an island in Greece.
Oh man, Slego.
Slego.
Slego is the less expensive version. Legos. Oh, it's the capital of Nigeria. Oh, that's funny. I had a bunch of action men I never played with. The main toys that I remember having were Power Rangers. The fucking Zords. I didn't really have like the toys. Because who gives a shit about the fucking action figures? You could throw them out of a window. But the goddamn Zords were so fucking cool. I had a Megazord and I had the White Tiger Zord. Which, oh my god, they were both so cool. I put the Megazord in a video and I found the picture of it. And I can buy a Megazord for £50. And I really want to. But she won't be happy. If I get a Megazord, like, I like to buy electronics. And she's like, well, at least he'll actually play with that. If I have a Megazord, it's literally going to be a statue that's going to stand on something. And that would piss her off.
I have statues. It's just the statues you would like would be insanely
You have statues,
huge.
and I would have a statue that would beat the shit out of your statues, which makes mine better.
You would have one that's like...
Lego Zord, oh my god.
You would have one that's like 4 or 5 feet tall.
Not feet tall, what the hell? They're like, it's like a foot tall.
Yeah, but where would you put it? Because you don't have space on your shelves because it's just full of your crap.
I haven't even finished my shelves yet. They need to be attached to the walls.
Oh, you mean that one?
Yeah,
Okay.
my new shelves. I'd put it on my new shelves.
I meant all your other
we would
shelves.
be watched over by Megazord as we sleep. No more spiders. They fear the Megazord. If somehow a Megazord actually scared spiders away.
Do your kids have religious classes in school?
They
do religious studies.
Yeah, they have like RE. They have religious education, but it's not the same as.
It's not like they don't have Bible study.
They don't learn Christianity specifically. They just learn about religions. Their old school was technically a religious school, but they just sort of were like, I'm out, not interested. And yeah, so it was fine. Let it go, let go, damn it. I had a full set of Power Ranger action figures, even though I only really wanted the pink one because I liked Amy Jo Johnson. At least it wasn't the yellow one, because that was a dude, which is always fun to watch back. The fucking actor from Japan, the yellow one was just a guy, but they didn't change anything. Make of that what you will. You always knew the rich arseholes in school because they had the Lego train. Only if their parents gave enough of a shit to help them make it. I know my dad had a Lego Technic set of this fucking sick car that had like full suspension and everything, but it got built once, and then all the Lego Technic stuff got used to make like fucking slingshots and shit. Six a kid. I played with first gen Bionic Man Rocket. Okay, I don't even know what that is. The spiders are going to pilot the Zords. Go Spider Rangers. That's fair, and they'd have the arms and legs to actually use all of the controls. Lego whiskey bottle. I feel like that wouldn't work as well as you'd hope. My primary was a Catholic school called Het Ruimentip. The spaceship. You went to a school called the Spaceship. That's fucking amazing. My father always called it Saint Spaceship, which pissed them off immensely. I mean, how is it not?
You would do that.
I would totally do that. I mean, I often call, whenever I see a religious hospital, I call it Saint God's, because I just think that's really funny. My cousin went to a Catholic school, and I told him that the teachers he saw Jesus in a can of Pringles. I mean, what else are you supposed to do? Not? $200 Lego monorail. Yeah, the biggest, like, I loved Lego as a kid. I wouldn't do it as an adult. I just don't have the fucking time or patience. I have this robot that my brother bought me that's all in bits that has to be built. And oh my god, I just cannot be fucked. I feel bad because it's like quite a cool kit, but I just cannot be bothered. It also gives me anxiety looking at the instructions. The instructions aren't a booklet that you can just read through and put on a table with a normal amount of space. It's a fucking poster, and it's a massive poster. The worst possible way you could put instructions on anything.
It's a broadsheet.
I was very mad. The plural of Lego is legai. I feel like you're making that up. I saw Jesus in Mexico. There's millions of them. I need a Lego flask and Lego decanter. I mean, you can try, but you'll lose all your whiskey to, holes. Yeah. I had the Lego Technic remote control excavator and sold it for a couple of $100. Built or not? Anyway. It looks like we're about to hit the hour, so thanks for all the Legos. And I said it. Oh, no. Yeah, we'll catch you in the next one. And apparently, I'm supposed to say BYE in a long, extended form. But, yeah, I just don't think I'm gonna.